Hi, boys and girls. So we've just finished looking at what happened after America fought the Revolutionary War. We won, which established the United States of America as a new nation. So that brings us to the Constitution. We start off with the Constitutional Convention, and this is about 1787. So some things to know, and let's look at these features. How was a new plan of government developed at the Constitutional Convention? And a convention, if you imagine the convention center, is where people meet together. That's all it is. It's a fancy long word for a convention of where people met together. And if it's the Constitutional Convention, that's where people met to discuss the Constitution. Some words that you'll be hearing, some vocabulary: arsenal, federal system, republic, compromise, bill. Some people that you'll hear in this next section: Daniel Shays, James Madison, how cool is that? Patrick Henry, George Washington, here he is again, Edmund Randolph, William Patterson, Governor Morris. We're going to also be looking at drawing conclusions. So we know this, and we find this evidence, and now what can we conclude? We see here Benjamin Franklin. He's the oldest delegate. He arrives at the Pennsylvania State House. And we can see there's people literally carrying him. So we see horses, and we see the gentleman in the back. So let's take a look. The Constitutional Convention. You are there. The year is 1787. The city of Philadelphia has hired you to spread dirt over Chestnut Street in front of the Pennsylvania State House. People keep stopping to ask why you are covering up the cobblestones. You explain that a meeting to fix the Articles of Confederation is going on in the State House. The delegates need quiet so they can work. The dirt will soften the clatter of the horses' hooves. So the Articles of Confederation was the first plan. When our country first was the United States of America, we wrote a declaration to Britain, the Declaration of Independence, saying, hey, we're free. We're no longer under your rule. But now, as a new nation, we need a new plan. And that first plan of government was the Articles of Confederation, but it had some problems. So those problems had to be fixed before our country could get anywhere and move forward. So here we go. This is the next page, 389. And we see here, this is Shays' Rebellion. During the attack on the arsenal, 4 of Shays' followers were killed. So let's find out about Daniel Shay. Reasons for change. And at the end of this, we're going to think, why did some people want a stronger national government? During the 1780s, many Americans were poor, yet they had to pay high state taxes. So they're no longer paying those taxes to Britain, but the states need money too. People often had to borrow money and go into debt. When they could not repay their debts, when they couldn't repay that money, state courts took away their farms or sent the people to prison. So this is now in the colonies, this is all happening. In the summer of 1786, poor farmers in Massachusetts protested or went against by refusing to let the courts meet. Armed with pitchforks and guns, they shut the courthouse and destroyed debt records. So it's kind of like saying, oh, sorry, we burned all the papers that said you owed us money, and now we don't have to owe anything anymore. In January of 1787, a mob of farmers led by Daniel Shays tried to take over a Massachusetts arsenal or a weapons storehouse. Because there was no army, there was no national army to defend the arsenal, the governor had to send soldiers to stop Shays. Shays' rebellion made some people think that the national government could not keep order or protect them. So if it's just state by state, there's no one in charge of anything. It's only the states that are in charge. So when they need help, there's no one to get help from. Ideas for change. James Madison of Virginia and other leaders argued that the country needed a stronger national government. Every state had a governor, but there was no single national leader. To pass any law, 9 states had to agree. There was no national court system to settle disputes, which are arguments. A lot of things that are wrong with this first plan of government. But others did not agree. Patrick Henry of Virginia was one of many leaders who wanted to keep the Articles as they were. He thought that this first plan was absolutely fine. Henry argued that Americans had fought the British because they did not want a powerful government ruling their lives. So he said, well, hey, the whole reason that we fought was to be free, and now let's just leave it how it is. So you have 2 sides. In 1787, all of the states except Rhode Island sent delegates to a convention in Philadelphia. The goal of this convention was to fix the Articles. So now let's think. Why did some people want a stronger national government? And we may look here in this section right here. We think about Daniel Shays. There's no one to stop anyone from breaking in. There's no one to kind of help in a courthouse if people are being attacked. And then we see here that there's no national leader, that there were so many fights that were happening now and no one could settle them all. All right, so that's taking a look at pages 388 and 389.